Well, I'd like to mirror the sentiments that Chad said about everyone coming. Thank you guys. It means a lot that you're all here. And I'm not that great at public speaking, but looking out at all these familiar, friendly faces makes it a lot easier. So, I know that most of you have seen on Facebook or at my parents' house pictures of my daughter, Shay, and she is not with us here today. She's back in Colorado. Randy is here, thank goodness. And we had to make a game time decision. She came down with a little cold, and she's feeling a lot better now, but unfortunately we had to leave her back in Colorado. So, if we could get that warmed up. This is a very recent photo of her, and just wanted to share that with everyone in the room, so that since she's not here, you guys get to see a very recent picture of her. This picture was taken this past summer at the beach, and I just want to leave it up there while I talk, because my dad always said he would be a horrible father for a girl. So glad that he had two boys, because there ain't no way in hell he'd be able to have a girl and deal with all that goes along with having a girl. Well, I beg to differ. I think he would be an awesome father for a girl. First of all, I want to recognize my mom. She's been an incredible rock throughout this situation. And I don't know how I would have gone through this and done this, or how Chad, or how Randy or Melissa, or quite frankly, a lot of y'all would have been able to do this without her. I love you, Mom. And also like to recognize Randy and Melissa for being here with us throughout this whole process and helping with the family and all the kids and doing everything that they've been doing and traveling here alone. I know that Melissa drove down with the boys from Atlanta and Randy jumped on a plane, and I usually like to travel with my wife, so I was a little nervous her coming by herself. One little quick story, and those of you who know my father well will find this highly amusing. When I was a senior in high school, I had a Ford Mustang. And don't get excited, Ken, it only had a 6-cylinder. I love this car. And one day I came home from school or wherever I was going, I pulled up in the driveway and just didn't think much of it and parked it behind the garage and went inside and was messing around. And my dad goes to leave, and I didn't think much of it. He just was there and going somewhere else, and comes running back in the house. Damn it, Gavin! Backed into my car, and it was my fault. Your car doesn't go there. But in true dad fashion, helped me get the car fixed, painted, all taken care of. A couple days later, I'm out partying with some friends, as high school students do. And my buddy was driving the car and ran it into a mailbox. Rolled the mailbox up the hood of the car, broke the windshield. I took it home, devastated. And more devastated to see what the hell Dad was gonna say when he found out this had happened. So I put the cover on my car. Mom and Dad were out at a party, I think at Harold and Arlene's house, if I'm not mistaken. And I was devastated. I rode my bike down to the beach. Felt like I was like 10 years old again. I was like, rode the bike down to the beach and just sat there. And I actually wrote a little note just saying, oh man, I can't believe it happened. I put it all out there in the note. Left the note on the counter and rode my bike to the beach. He didn't know where I was. Mom didn't know where I was. They just came home, found the note. Hour later, whatever, he comes showing up, walks down to the beach, and I was like, oh man, come on. How'd you know where to find me? and he just sat down next to me on the beach, which is pretty phenomenal, actually. If you know him real well, he hates the beach. He put his arm around me and just said, "Son, cars can be fixed. Don't worry about it. Let's go home. We'll take care of it." And that's just the kind of guy he was. He taught me how to fish, how to operate a boat, how to hunt deer, turkey, hogs, quail, dove, pheasant, didn't matter. How to dress a deer, how to drive a car. Most importantly, he taught me how to care about people and how to treat people and how to do unto others as you would have done to you. The golden rule, we love the golden rule. And he taught me how to be a family man, because first and foremost, that's what he was. He also taught me a lot about fixing things and just doing little minor jobs around the house that need to be done and whatnot. He was always one to try and tackle it first, as opposed to just calling someone, as many of you probably know, and probably been partner in his fixing escapades. But I was the one holding the flashlight. And at the time, it pissed me off. I was like, "Can't I turn the wrench? Can't I hammer the nail?" But what I didn't realize is what I was learning from him and his phenomenal lessons that he taught me and Chad throughout our lives. I'll never forget that. And then one more quick story about Shay and him not being a very good father for a girl, which I argue to this day. We're at the beach and he's sitting in a chair and she was only about 10 months old, and she's got him on his knee and she's whining and crying, as 10 months often do. And he said, "You know, all that whining and crying is not going to get you anywhere with me." Wrong. Well, 10 minutes later, she was bouncing on his knee and laughing and giggling and having a great time. So I think she had him wrapped around her little finger at a very, very young age. So, I love you, Dad. I miss you, Dad. And I will hold your flashlight anytime, man. Now, Mom asked me to read a little letter that my dad wrote. This was written May 2nd, 2003. And this is just kind of the family we got. We got these letters, laying around the house, and they get dug up every once in a while. This is one of those instances. So, this is my dad writing this letter. Have you ever noticed how real dreams can be? One night I dreamed I looked across the street from my house and saw my boys. Gavin is 30 and Chad is 26. Walking from their house. I guess I dreamed this because they really do not live across the street. They live far away from Claudia, my wife, and me. And we only get to see them several times a year, which is enough to break your heart. Anyway, I was struck, I guess that's the word, as I watched them walking across the road. I couldn't believe they were as old as they were. It seemed like they were still my boys, my little boys, but they were grown. A feeling of pride welled up inside me, tears rolling down my face. Hard to describe. Knowing that not only was I looking at my two sons that were grown and walking tall, I was looking at my two best friends. Two people that I feel happy to be around. I feel comfortable to be with. I feel proud of. Proud of who they were and everything they've done. I just wish every parent, every person who ever had a child could be as fortunate as Claudia and I are, to have two children that we love so much that we would do anything for, and we feel like would do anything for us, and always have anything we ask them. If all the parents in the world could have two children that they love, and the children love them as much as we do, the world would be a wonderful place. I'm proud of my family. my wife and my boys. All I ever want to do is make my family proud of me. I woke up and wondered why my pillow was wet.